Your heart needs to be strong to keep up. Flora for a strong heart today. We all say we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, yet most of us automatically assume we're healthy if we're thin. Liam Boyson was a skinny 20-something who didn't give his health much thought until an event at his workplace changed his perception.
We had a health evaluation day at work, and I took a few minutes out, went downstairs, had my blood pressure tested, and they're like, listen dude, it's way too high. Come back. So I did the route, went all the way around, came back, and I tested my blood pressure again. They said, okay, it's higher than the first time. Come back in about an hour. So came back, they tested my blood pressure, and it was even higher than the first 2 times. So what they told me was to actually go to the doctor and to have it tested.
Along with high blood pressure, Liam was also diagnosed with high cholesterol. He swims regularly and changed his diet to manage these conditions without the help of medication.
My dad's side of the family had high blood pressure and cholesterol, so it kind of was a surprise, but it also wasn't at the same time. I was just expecting it to hit me later on in life, or as soon as I started wearing a bigger trouser size.
Just because you're thin doesn't mean you're healthy, although we've been taught otherwise. On a daily basis, Endocrinologist Dr. Tanya Kinvig helps patients understand this concept and improve their well-being.
Being overweight or obese is associated with increased risks for health problems. Generally, being overweight on its own is not a major problem, provided it's not associated with other issues. However, it depends on where the weight is deposited. So if you have largely central obesity, so you have an increased waist circumference, there is an increased risk for development of diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, stroke, cancer, obstructive sleep apnea. So there are a number of associations which result from the development of being overweight or obese. Slim people are also at risk for developing health issues largely related to where their weight is deposited. So someone may be slim and have a paunch or a book, but that in its own right puts them at risk for development of heart disease and cholesterol.
Regular screening tests like checking blood pressure and cholesterol is one of the simplest ways to find out if you're truly healthy.
Recently, there's been a recognition of something called the skinny fat phenomenon, or in medical terms, normal weight obesity, which refers to people who are slim, in other words, they have a normal BMI, but they in fact are at increased risk for cardiovascular disease, diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, simply because their weight is deposited around their waistlines. And often people who are very slim, because they have a fast metabolism, tend to eat a lot of rubbish and calorie-dense foods in order to maintain their weights. And a lot of those foods are rich in sugar and rich in fats. And unfortunately, the sugar and the fat, because they're not exercising regularly, tend to be deposited in areas which are metabolically putting them at risk.
Slim individuals could also have reduced muscle mass and increased fat mass, which is another form of being skinny fat.
So we know that these people can be at as high, if not higher risk, than people who are considered obese. That doesn't mean that people who are obese do not need to lose weight. It means that whether you're fat, whether you're thin, you need to exercise. And people who are physically fit are metabolically fit.
Go for regular screening tests. Make sure you exercise regularly, and then you too can be slim but assuredly healthy. Your heart needs to be strong to keep up. Flora for a strong heart today.